Dan Kingston here, asking you to do me a huge favor. Will you possibly rate the Dan Kingston podcast on Apple Podcasts? Each new rating, believe it or not, really does have a major impact on the way Apple's algorithm recommends content. With just one quick click, you can help promote citizen journalism and end the stranglehold of the mainstream media. Together, we're going to do this. Thank you. I really appreciate your support.
Caution. Your paradigm is about to shift at the intersection of fact and reason. You're entering Kingston Country.
I'm Dan Kingston, and you're listening to the Dan Kingston Podcast.
Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing. But we had no one that was, legal aspect that would go after him. They were afraid of him. For whatever reason, they were afraid of him. All of a sudden, someone said, BS. We're not afraid of you anymore and what you're doing. It's not only wrong, it's illegal, it's, all those things.
That's Cindy McCain. And the question is, who was protecting Epstein? What changed? Why were they afraid to touch it? Who exactly wouldn't touch it? These are the questions. Cindy McCain apparently has some answers. I think the FBI should talk to Cindy McCain. Apparently they're trying to talk to Prince Andrew, who's been giving them the cold shoulder. Also, why haven't they reached out to Ghislaine Maxwell? Doesn't she have something she needs to say? I would argue that the FBI probably has, and they're playing that close to the chest, but I don't know. In terms of Cindy McCain, what does she know about Epstein, about the people that were protecting Epstein? And don't we have a right to know why that case was essentially dropped? What, he got like a slap on the wrist? Well, FBI Special Agent E. Nesbitt Kirkendall swore in federal court records that no victims expressed any opinion that Epstein should be prosecuted. But police records contradict that, showing that the young women, multiple young women, did want Epstein to be prosecuted, including Dania Nida, who's recently come forward. Now, Dania Nida has recently come forward to pressure Palm Beach County Chief Judge Krista Marks to unseal transcripts from that 2006 grand jury proceeding, which enabled Epstein to get a slap on the wrist. What exactly happened at that 2006 grand jury proceeding? Don't we have a right to know? I agree with Dania Nida that the county chief judge of Palm Beach, Krista Marks, should unseal the transcripts. So we know this could possibly shed light on why federal prosecutors did not vigorously prosecute Epstein when we knew, at least he was alleged to be, a serial child molester. Very credible allegations, even at that time in 2006. So why is this judge refusing to unseal the transcripts? I think we need to put more pressure on Palm Beach County Chief Judge Krista Marks. If we ever hope to know why these allegations were allowed to slip by with just a slap on the wrist, and he was able to molest so many more young women because of this. Girls, bringing them to Lolita Island. There's videos, allegedly, of old men having sexual encounters with young girls. If officials have those videos, don't we also have a right to know who is in those videos? If Prince Andrew is indeed on video, like is alleged by Virginia Roberts, who claims she was made to have sex with Prince Andrew when she was 17, she says she believes that authorities have video footage of this. And so I don't have any reason to not believe it. By all accounts, he had multiple video cameras set up all over the damn place. By all accounts, he may have been working for the CIA or Mossad. Is that why? Is that why the judge will not unseal the documents? How high up does this go? I don't want to demonize a judge who may have reasons not to unseal. But That's not to say we can't put pressure on her to put pressure on the higher ups, whoever it is, CIA or what have you, what wants this to go away. I'm afraid that they made a big mistake. We're not letting this ball drop because the pedophile elites that are sick and in charge of this country, well, at least they were until Trump came in and gave them a challenge. But you can't change everything in 4 years. You can't even do it in 8. And Trump needs our help to weed out these sick elitists from the positions of power that they remain in to this day. Part of that has to do with unsealing the 2006 transcripts to figure out why federal prosecutors didn't prosecute Epstein as a serial child molester. I want to know, what did Special Agent E. Nesbitt Curta Kendall, what does he know? Why did he say that no victims had a strong opinion when it was obviously the opposite of that? We know now. So what do you think about this whole thing? Does Virginia Roberts, she's in the picture with Prince Andrew smiling, does that look damning or what? You look at Prince Andrew in that picture, and you look at Prince Andrew's interview, where he looks guilty as hell. Looks can be deceiving. Don't judge a book by its cover, but he's talking about the idea he couldn't have been engaged in sexual relations with Virginia Roberts, sex, let's not sugarcoat it, because she says he sweats. And at the time, he says he never was able to sweat because of an incident that happened when he served in the military. I guess he had a lot of anxiety, so much so that because of that, he cannot sweat anymore. I don't know if that's a real thing, but I don't know how that's a defense. And he's talking about how he specializes in girl trafficking and victim trafficking, child trafficking. And then he's also saying how he sees girls walking in and out of the Epstein house, but he doesn't put 2 and 2 together. He says, oh, I wish I knew. But he really doesn't express much sympathy for the girls in the interview. And instead, he expresses sympathy for his friend and for himself, his friend being Epstein, and for himself being the pervert that he is. Oh, I couldn't have done it because I sweat. It was impossible for me to sweat at the time. And she says I'm a sweater. All right. So was it the Queen? Is it the royal family that's protecting Epstein? The FBI? Mossad? Or just our sick culture that's controlled by elites that had him murdered, right? Was it Bill? Was it Hillary? Was it somebody on the right end of the spectrum, on the right wing? I mean, let's face it. Demons and evil has no political ideology. As much as you'd like to say, oh no, it's just the Democrats that are evil. I'm sorry. There are evil Republicans too. Look at John Bolton. Look at John Bolton. One of a handful who lied us into Iraq, covered it up. One of arguably the greatest foreign policy blunder in the history of the United States. And now Democrats thought that he was going to be their ally? No. That guy's a bad actor. He's just throwing sand into the face of everyone looking so that he can sell a book. Or worse. So that's just one example. Obviously, evil doesn't have political spectrum. Evil is all around us. We have to understand that and understand the evil forces that are working to divide us apart. To say that QAnon is a dangerous cult, when in fact we all know QAnon predicted Epstein. And we all know there are more sick elitists in position of power that are going to be exposed. And the young blood-sucking zombies trying to cheat death and become young forever by getting blood transfusions from scared young children, well, that's the next thing that's going to be exposed. And if you think the Epstein thing was sick, if you think Harvey Weinstein was sick, who, by the way, apparently doesn't have a penis, apparently he just has a vagina and is missing genitalia. Look, I don't want to make fun of anybody for missing a penis or not having a penis, but a recent accuser says that he's intersex in court today, that he doesn't have a penis, that he's deformed. So that throws something. I mean, how could he have raped people if he doesn't have a penis? I guess he was just being really perverted and doing weird vagina things. Anyway, these elitists in positions of power, like Epstein, like Weinstein, they're sick. They're doing weird things, medical things, blood transfusions. Look, it's all going to be exposed, and when it is, the last person laughing, it's going to be QAnon.
Kingston Country. You've been listening to the Dan Kingston Podcast.
Dan Kingston here. Are you fed up with the mainstream media? Do you want to support citizen journalism? The Dan Kingston Podcast is dedicated to asking questions and exploring topics the mainstream media won't touch. If you enjoy this content, would you help me give you even more for less than $1 a month? Yeah, less than $1 a month. You can help me do just that. And it's as easy as using Apple Pay or any credit card. And by the way, I'll be thanking sponsor names, your name, at the beginning of each podcast episode. So would you consider signing up for less than $1 a month? Find the link to become a sponsor in the description of this podcast episode or visit anchor.fm/Dan Kingston. Thank you in advance for supporting citizen journalism and helping me provide you with even more content. I really appreciate it.